Welcome back into Embody. Oh my gosh. It's part 3. Can you believe it? Okay, I just gonna say a couple things first. Something out of my lip trap. I don't know. Um, if you're wondering why my background's like this, I'm currently traveling in Canada, house sitting for my mom. And this is her spare bedroom. And it's obviously unfinished. So there's that. Um, and yes, I'm here with a wrinkly shirt. So we breaking all the rules today. And that's okay. That's how we do things around here. And it's a strong part of my message and my even my not I'm not gonna say like my brand, but like my deep rooted like message with everything is like there's this like idea that everything needs to be perfect or that we need to look or be a certain way to find success or to whatever, like build a business, to be a good mom. Like I'm here with a fucking wrinkly shirt, you guys. This is okay. And I'm here to break the paradigm that it needs to look a certain way. So everything I do in my life, in my business, in my relationships, it looks not normal. And I know that this is something that so many people need to hear, really. Like so many people need this reminder that like we don't need to look or be a certain way in order for the thing that we desire to become our reality. Okay, so I just wanted to preface today's conversation with that because I think this is something that needs to be said, right? We're comparing ourselves to other people and like other people's like perfect life. And I'm like, you know, let's just blow it out of the water as our like whole vibrant, whatever, loud, eccentric, introverted, messy selves. How about we do that? Okay. So, anywho, welcome back in to Embody. I am so like extremely excited for today's class. And I just did a quick arm workout because as you do, like leadership is everything, right? How we lead ourselves in our life directly translates into our business. And so of course, 15 minutes to the call today, I'm like, I got 15 minutes. Let's do a quick 5-minute arm workout. I throw on something on YouTube and grab my little hand weights and I'm like, yeah, I'm feel good. Like so often again, we build this idea that like it needs to take a long time or whatever. Or exercising is so hard, like it's not, but then I'm in my body and I'm feeling so much better now. So anywho, let's get down. Let's get down to business. Let's do this thing, right? So remember to go in order. If you're here just jumping in for the first time and you missed part 1 or part 2, go back and do it in order because there is a method to this that's very organized in a specific linear pattern, even though nothing really in my life is linear except for the way that I teach. Okay, so go back and listen to part 1 and part 2 if you missed them. And I suggest you do the tapping as well, more than once, like fully immerse yourself, get into the questions, like take it all in and then go back and rewatch it again. Okay, there's so much here. And every time we listen to it, we're going to get more from it. Okay, similarly as when we read a book and then we're like, have you ever read a book and you're like, well, that sucked. And then like a couple years later, you pick it up again and read it again. And you're like, this changed my life. Like, this is changing my life. Did I even read this? It's kind of that. So every time we listen to it, we're going to be a different version of ourselves. We're going to be in a different frequency. We're going to hear different things. Okay. So, and then last reminder here, if you haven't shared the share graphic, the I'm here for it, excited share graphic to your social media stories, do it because I've decided to extend the giveaway until Sunday night. So we are Friday at the time of this recording. You have until Sunday night to share the share graphic and tag me at the Jocelyn Dawn in your social media stories. I would love if you would put a little blurb of why people need to get in here, why this information is changing the world, and put it up to your social media stories. And I am giving you automatically unlock a 30-minute session with me, including a custom EFT session. Okay, so go do that. Okay. So today we've got a lot to cover and I want you to stick around to the end because something really big is coming and you're going to be the first in the world to hear about it. Okay. And you don't want to miss I have a couple of really fun limited time offers that are specifically for you guys here as well. So you want to stick around. So far, we've covered a lot, right? So far, we've covered a lot of information, and a lot of it hasn't been super tangible. It's been more embodiment, right? Embodiment itself is very much an inside job. It starts on the inside, but the action is what brings the results. Okay, so I want to be very clear that we can embody a new idea and a new identity, the one that we wrote down yesterday. Like we can be her now, we can get into it on the inside all day long. But if we don't move, very little is going to change. Very little is going to change. It's the action that makes the difference. So that's what we're going to talk about today, the how, right? We're going to get into that. So we're not here for the incremental change. We're not here for that, like, you know, little bitty, like, you know, slow and steady growth. We're not here for the figuring it out, you know, the linear logical time frames. We're not here for that, right? And I hope after these 2 days that you've been listening to me ramble on, you now see that we don't have to live life in a linear way. We don't have to look for success or build businesses or step into leadership roles or whatever it is in a linear way. We're here for the 10x. We're here for the expansion, the growth. Okay, the expansion and growth doesn't happen with the 2x. It doesn't. It's actually kind of boring. But the 10x, that's exciting. Do you feel that? And it's exciting in a way that it's like, holy shit, it kind of scares me. Like, or it really fucking scares me. So we're here for the 10x. So we're going to talk about that today. The 10x requires us to move differently. It requires us to become someone we've never been. That's what the 10x requires us to do. Okay, are you here for that? So many of you, I know this to be true. You've had this desire, this dream on your heart for a long time, and you've tried to move towards it. You've tried to figure it out. Excuse me. You've tried to go all in on yourself in the past, and something has stopped you. Okay. This is probably that. This conversation over these 3 days, right? This is what has stopped you. It's the embodiment, it's the disconnect, it's the separation. Okay, so the 10x, these dreams, goals, desires that we have on this piece of paper now that we know we're like, this like fires me right the fuck up. Like, this is what I want more than anything. I know I'm here to change lives. I know I'm here for something so much more than just working for the weekends or trading my time for money. This is that. Okay. So we're here for the 10x. So 10x requires us to move differently. It requires us to think differently. It requires us to believe differently. It requires us to be differently. Different. So it's not that we do more, or yeah, it's not that we do more. We do things in a certain way. For some of us here, it's not even different things. You've already been doing the things, especially if you already have your business or your exchange, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, already set up and working for you, and it feels like it's your soul's purpose. I'm going to teach you something that's going to unlock insane amounts of abundance that are going to flow through that exchange. Okay. It's not necessarily, if you're somebody that already has that exchange set up, it's doing it in a certain way. But if you're somebody here that doesn't have an exchange right now, and you're calling in more abundance and this dream and this beautiful desire you have, the separation has something to do with abundance and wealth and money. We're going to talk about that. Okay. Because you need an exchange. So I always say there's nothing to do and everything to be. Nothing to do and everything to be. That doesn't mean that we're not doing. That does not mean that we're not doing. It means that we're being first. It means that we're being, the being comes first. Okay. So we started this conversation a couple days ago with awareness. Then we moved into dreaming even bigger. dreaming even bigger and like blowing the lid off, right? From an understanding that our true nature is limitless, that we at our core are actually unstoppable. And we only have like this much of awareness right now as to what's actually possible for us. And so today we're going to solidify it into the body, discover who it is we need to become, and how we're going to make it our reality. So most people are living in this model: do, have, be. Do, have, be. They do the thing to have the thing, and then they'll be happy. And then they'll be abundant. That's like the model that everyone is living in. That's how our society is run. You do the work so that you can have the money to then be abundant or be with more freedom and the ability to travel. Okay, the methods that I teach, everything I teach comes down to be, do, have. First we be, then we do, and then we have. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. This is embodiment, being someone we've never been before. So that desire, first we need to make a decision. This is what I want. This is, I know this is on my path. So I'm going to be that version of me now, be so fucking delusional. It makes no sense to anyone around me. It makes perfect sense to me and everyone in my community. This is how we operate. We be that version of us now with every cell in our body. And we exist there in our imagination, and we go throughout our day as her now. Remember yesterday I got you to take a look at yourself, even look at yourself in the mirror, and ask yourself what you would look like and feel like with that desire already manifested, already your reality, and what the separation is. It's actually like astounding. Like, it's like, ooh, kind of takes your breath away when you think about it. So how we've been caring for ourselves, how we've been treating ourselves, how we've been talking to ourselves, what we've been believing about ourselves. There's a fucking separation. There's a big separation for a lot of us. Okay. And so if we truly believe that this desire, this dream, this goal is like inevitable, we can't fuck it up. Like, there's no possible way that it is not what's happening for us with every cell in our body, and we become that version of us now, it will, by law, manifest. By law, okay? So the universal laws. So, the be, do, have. We be first, and then we do in a certain way. We take action as a different version of us. We show up differently, and this happens like this, you guys. You don't need to spend months, years healing, letting go of what happened. You can reinvent yourself right here and right now. And a lot of you already have. Okay, a lot of you already have. You're done with what happened. You're done with how your life's been going up until now. And you have this insane desire for something more, for more impact, for more connection, for more abundance, for more freedom. You're here to change lives. So it's about time we start acting like it. And it's not an act. This is not faking till you making or whatever. It's not acting as if. This is essentially overriding the old program in our mind and saying, no, that's not who I am anymore. This is who I am. Okay. So, be, do, have. This is how we quantum leap. This is how we create a life that most people are like, what the hell? Like, how did you do that? And you're like, it's not how, it's who. It's not how, it's who, actually. Who did I become to live this life? Okay. I shared my experience already on that, and I do it all the time. I still do it. My current results right now are just this compared to what I know is coming. It's so exciting. It's so cool. And so that shifts everything for us. Everything. Our vibrational frequency shifts like this. Okay. We start to attract differently. We start to think differently. We start to adopt different habits and have different beliefs in a second because we chose. We choose it consciously over and over again. In the beginning, like I said, you got to choose again and again and again and again. Okay, but keep choosing, keep getting back on the bridge. Keep choosing because it happens to everyone. Happens to me too. I get back on, but I also have tools. You guys want to know why I'm leading you through these tapping on your face things? These tapping sessions? Is because EFT is emotional freedom techniques. Emotional freedom. That is what we're doing here. We are becoming emotionally free from our current results so that we can open ourselves up to receive and to hold more. Okay, we're telling ourselves a new story. We're overriding the old program and telling ourselves our truth. And it's something we get to do every day. And it's so easy. And it's so fast. Right? And I absolutely love it. I tap every single morning. Every single morning. Okay. So I want you to take a look at what you wrote down yesterday. How can you be here now? So how can you be here now? How we lead ourselves matters. I told you the little story at the start of my quick, it's like 5-minute arm workout. How we lead ourselves matters, okay? So I've been talking about this a lot lately, and I have something really exciting coming in September that I'm going to share with you after the conversation today. It's a little bonus because our habits matter. How we do life matters. The things we do, our routines matter. What we put into our body matters. Our energy. Okay, so I want to just say this. We've been taught to think of our body as like separate pieces. It's like we're like this like pieced together thing. The brain, the belly, the stomach, the digestive system are not separate. We know that, right? The vagal nerve it's like our feelers, and it's always receiving information and sending it back to the brain, and the brain gets to choose what's happening with that. And we react or respond accordingly. I taught a session in Unshakable in my membership in August on this, and it's mind-blowing. Once we understand this information, we can then move accordingly. We can then do something about it, and it all starts to make sense when we see that our results or whatever's happening in our life makes us feel a certain way. That impacts our thoughts and our beliefs and our actions. But when we can hold it, when we can hold our energy and become emotionally free, we get to choose. Okay, that's why I get you to do EFT tapping. That's why I do EFT in everything I do, because it helps us to expand our capacity to receive, and to hold it, and to become emotionally free. Okay, so how we do one thing is how we do everything in our life, especially when we start to expand into the realms of entrepreneurship. If you're somebody who's here and you don't currently have your own business, this is huge. Okay, this is huge. And entrepreneurship is the fastest way to growth, the fastest way to change your entire life. Okay, so we don't want to exist in the old model. We don't want to exist in the masculine, the hustle grind, like the figuring it out, the working harder, the like logical, linear, step by step by step. Like that's not fun. And it's not like it takes a long time and it's exhausting. And so I just want to say, when I say masculine, I don't mean like the man's work. Okay, like I don't mean that at all. Masculine and feminine energy, we all have a mix of the two. Some of us are more dominant in one than the other. Okay, so the masculine energy is very much like, let's get to work harder, like logical, linear, figuring it out, numbers based, those sorts of things. We know that. That's masculine energy. Feminine is like more go with the flow, more energetics, more heart centered, more like somatic. Okay, it's more this kind of realm, but we can't create the abundant, what do I want to say, whole, impactful, successful life without both. Okay, because we could spend all day in our imagination sitting around visualizing, meditating, tapping on our face, talking about our feelings in the feminine and doing nothing about it, and not much is going to change. Maybe some things, but not a lot. So we need the masculine energy to take the action. We need that fire in our soul. We need that strategy even. And when we bring them together, that's what I do in everything, all of my work, all of my programs, one-on-one coaching, everything. We bring them two together and we move forward accordingly as a different version of ourselves. We create fucking mind-blowing results in a very non-linear, short amount of time. We start to attract differently right away. Okay. So we don't want to work harder. And I'm not saying we don't want to do any work, because I know you are very ambitious. You are a very ambitious woman. You love to work. You love to do your heart's work, right? Things that like light you up. You would spend like your whole day and night doing it if you could. But we don't want the stress or the effort or the struggle. We don't want that feeling of like, oh, I don't want to do this. Have you felt that before? I know you have. We all have. But what if we didn't need to feel that? You know, I don't feel that. Like, I don't ever feel that, oh, I don't want to do that. If there's ever a moment where I'm like feeling any sort of friction, I question it. And I ask myself, why don't I want to do this? And if I don't want to do this, then what do I want to do? And how can I pivot? How can I shift? Isn't that cool that we have that opportunity to do that? Especially as entrepreneurs, this is very special. And this is something I've recently done in my business. In June, I took a pretty interesting pivot, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. Because I decided that, ooh, there's something more here. Like I started to feel that, you know, there's like, it's not that there was like anything wrong or anything like broken or anything not working. I just felt the urge and the nudge for more. And that's probably where you're at right now. Is you're like, I could continue doing this, but part of me is a little bit bored. Part of me is feeling not as connected as I did in the past. And so I use that as an opportunity to ask, where can I go bigger? Where can I go bigger? And it's so incredible and insane what comes from that. Okay. So this is embodiment. This is the quantum leap. This is how we skip timelines. We literally make things happen that the rest of normal people are like, what? What do you mean you just da da da? You know, and you're like, I just did. I decided. People ask me like, how the hell, how'd you get, like, how did a single mom, like, oh, that sounds really scary. And well, how did you go to Costa Rica alone with 2 kids? And I was like, I just decided. I just did it. And they're like, oh. You know, so I want you to ask yourself, like, what habits can I adopt right now? Looking at your piece of paper, what can you change right now within yourself, inside yourself, your beliefs, and then exterior as well? I want you to start dressing the part. What's that meme? It's like, dress for the job you want, not the job you have, or something. The work you want, not the job, not the work you have. And it's like, I think I saw one that was like this like in a princess gown showing up to like an average job. Like, dress the part, like make yourself feel the part now. And at the beginning, this might feel a lot of like imposter. I don't know, I'm not good enough. What if somebody knows, you know, like what if sorry, I froze there. Or like, oh, I'm not good enough. What if somebody knows I'm not good enough? What if somebody knows like oh, I'm the imposter? No. Your truth is what you wrote down. Your truth is what's in your heart. Okay. So you know you're here to lead. You know you're here to change lives. You have a story to share. You're here to make a huge impact. We know this already. even if it feels so freaking scary and foreign. Okay. This is just a piece of it. What you wrote down is just a piece of the impact that you're here to make. So how does this version of you, how does she move? Who is she? What are her routines? What are her non-negotiables? How does she dress? Have fun with this. And this doesn't mean you need to go out and like spend a bunch of money. You probably have stuff in your closet right now that you're saving for a rainy day or saving for that special occasion. How does it feel when you dress nice? And nice can mean whatever it means to you, okay? I had a woman come through a program last year. When she came in, you could tell that she, I'm just going to say, didn't love herself. Like she had a lot of doubt. She had a lot of like resistance around being seen. And we were talking about this, about dressing and about like how we care for ourselves. And she said something along the lines of like, I don't care what I look like. And I said, huh, because that that showed me exactly where she was in her thinking and her beliefs. And by the end of the program, not immediately after, it actually was like a few months after the program that she started to tell me what was happening in her life. Everything changed. Okay. She had been hiding from something so much bigger than just an outside like uh looks, so much bigger than just looks on the outside. And she was dressing herself in such a way that it's almost like you could tell she was hiding. She wasn't happy. She wasn't proud of her body. She wasn't, she didn't love herself. That's what it came down to. And now she just held her first ever women's retreat at her own retreat center, teaching other women how to love themselves. Like, what? So it matters. How you look to yourself matters. How you look to other people, who gives a shit what other people think of you? Okay, let's just address that. We're not dressing for other people, we're dressing for ourselves. Okay, we're moving for ourselves. Those workouts I do are not to get buff and strong to have the best bikini body. No, they're to feel good in my own fucking body. Okay, let's just remove the people pleasing for a second here and come back to the realization that this is for us. Let's get selfish. Okay, let's get selfish. This is for us. None of this is for other people. But by default, everyone around us will be impacted. Yeah. So cool, right? So how does this version of her, us, you, feed herself? How does she move? What are her non-negotiables? What does she believe? What does her day look like? How does she just like get up in the morning? What does she do? How does she put herself to bed at night? Okay. So I know all of you here are with me. Some people, normal people, might be like, that doesn't matter. My brother, that doesn't matter. Okay. But the realization is like, this matters. This is actually everything. And our society will teach you and try to persuade you into believing that it doesn't matter. That it's actually like, you need to do things, do more, work more, be more accredited. It's the small things. Okay. So I know so many of you specifically, let's talk just to you. Okay. I know you've been feeling called to serve on a bigger scale. You've been feeling called to lead, like I've said probably 35 times in the past 3 days, to take your passions, to take your experiences, your wisdom, and your expertise and share it with the world. I know you're here for that. You're ready to be the one that people look to and want to follow. What's missing? What's missing? The realization that you are the one. The realization that you are the one, and you adopting the identity right now that you are the one is going to change your entire life. You are the one, okay? So when I think of the work that I do, I have the identity, and this continues to get deeper and bolder and broader as I do. Excuse me. I have the identity that I am the one. Not for everyone. Hell no, not for everybody. If I was the one for everybody, I would be like fucking black and white. Some people are offended by how I speak or turned off by my energy. But a lot of people are magnetized to it. So I am the one for my one, for the one, okay? And I believe that I am the best at what I do. But I'm no better than anyone else. I have no competition. Okay, I have no competition because I am my own niche. And that's what I teach you and all my students how to do. How am I my own niche? How do I not have any competition? Because I don't look side to side at what other people are doing. I originate ideas from that connection to infinite creativity. Okay, and so the more that I trust myself, the more that I turn up the dial on me and lean into really what feels really good for me, the more I'm going to magnetize that one person. And it's not just one singular person. There was multiple people who registered for this event. I work with multiple women. Okay. But the really interesting thing is they all tell me, how the fuck are you in my head? Like, how are you speaking right to me? And they're all very different women. Okay. So that's what happens when we turn up the dial on us and trust ourselves. And we stop pleasing other people. We start to get more vibrant. We start to come alive. And this is the feeling of being high on life that we've been talking about, right? We jump out of bed and we're like, oh my God, what can I share with the world today? Like, I'm so fired up and turned on by my message that I'm unstoppable. I'm unshakable. Whatever comes my way is perfect. And it's leading me exactly to where I need to go. Everything's happening for me. And when we adopt that mentality, guess what's going to happen? Because our beliefs, remember, our beliefs and ideas and our thoughts create our reality. What are we creating when we're like, I'm exactly where I need to be? I'm the best at what I do. I am the one. There are women out there, people, human beings waiting for me to share my wisdom, my guidance, and they're ready for me now. Okay, that's like attractive. That changes the game. So instead of waiting for the world to show us or to give us permission to go first or to affirm that we can be the one or that we are successful, okay, instead of waiting for the world or our results to show us that we are successful, we move first and we decide the results are already in. Okay, this is completely illogical and this makes no logical sense. This is delusional. That's what we're here for. That's what makes the difference. That's why we create results and get to jump out of bed every morning high on life. That's why we live the lives that we live, is because we have changed the rules to the game and we stopped giving our power away to other people. Okay, we took our power back. So you're ready to be the one, right? You're ready to step into that leadership. So let's talk about the how. Let's address this for a second, because you're like, yes, I'm ready to be the how, or so I'm ready to be the one, but like, how? How does this work? So if you take a look at what you wrote down on your paper, that dream that you have, that desire, that experience that you're like, oh my God, this would like change everything for me and my family in every single way. Like, it's not even remotely similar to how I am now. The how is probably astounding. Like, it feels really big, right? The how is like, whoa, you look at that and you're like, that's not even possible. Your mind is like telling you all the stories, right? All the shiny stories. So here's the thing. There needs to be an exchange. So usually what I hear from my clients and students is the how has a lot to do with money, has a lot to do with finances. Okay. So according to the law of compensation, which is one of the universal laws that yes or yes, it is working all the time around us, even if we don't understand it, even if we don't believe in it, just like the law of gravity, it is an absolute law. The law of compensation states that you will be compensated based on the need for what you do, how good you are at it, and your ability to be replaced. Previously, and in our society, we give these things away to outside sources. We allow the world to tell us there is a need for what we do. We allow the world to tell us how good we are at it. Right? But here in this space, in my world, who decides? You know this. You, we, I, you do. You decide. You decide and you move first before the results are in. So you are here to be a leader. You own it now. Even if you're not leading anybody yet. As soon as you do, as soon as you turn up that dial and trust yourself, your entire life's going to change overnight. Okay, so do you believe that there is a need for what you offer? Do you believe that there is a need for what you have on your heart? Doesn't matter if you look side to side and you want to do market research. No. You can if you want to, if that floats your boat, but honestly, you're just going to find what you're looking for. Do you believe that there's a need for what you offer? This thing that you know in your soul you're here to share with the world. Is there a need for this? Fuck yes, there is. There is. People need what you have. People need us. We're a unique breed. Like we talked about yesterday, we are not normal. The world needs to wake up, and we get to change that and challenge that. We're challenging the paradigm. We very much are. Do you believe that you're good at what you do? Do you? Yeah. Dang. I'm the best at what I do. I am the best at what I do. And I'm just going to keep getting better. And I can't fuck it up, because every experience is an opportunity to grow and get better. So everything, normally normal people would plan it all out and know exactly what they're going to talk about and like know all the details, and then they do the thing. That's not how we roll around here. We do the thing as the one, and we learn so much that we couldn't have possibly have learned if we would have done it the old masculine way. Okay, we go first. We do the thing first. We feel that fear, but we've got tools. We've got a community, we've got support, we've got our tapping, and we have a balanced, regulated nervous system and a belief system to back us up. This understanding that we can't fuck it up and that we're going to learn so much. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little story, and she's probably also listening. I have a past student / she's still my student and friend, and she wanted to start a school, like not a school, like a academic, like sit in a classroom for 8 hours, very much like an alternative school, kind of similar to my jungle school in Costa Rica. And she when we connected, she had this, you know, the linear masculine model in her mind of like she needed to figure it out and she needed to plan it out and create like a whole course thing and like create the whole thing before she was to take any action. And so I helped her to see that she didn't actually need any of that, and all of it was actually, not all of it, but I'm not going to say all of it, but it was almost irrelevant, because what happens, and honestly, I coach anyone who's like creating courses or offers or anything, like you don't even know right now where you're going to go. So how could you possibly create the course now? So I helped her to start and to take that first step and to continue to take steps as the one in her community with that vision in mind of where she knew it was going to go right then and there. And when she did, even after the first meeting, everything changed. The whole trajectory of the program changed. Okay, so when we wait until everything's perfect to start, we're just wasting time, and it doesn't make any sense because we're just going to scrap it all and redo it anyway. Right? So we need to start first. With Jungle School, a lot of the I ran it for 6 weeks as a co-op at one point. And a lot of the ways people were thinking, like the other parents involved, were like, okay, well, when I would ask them, okay, well, what would you love to see in the program? And they were like, well, let's just see what we can find. And I was like, no, that's not my question. What do you want to see in the program? Like, what would we love to teach our kids and have our kids experience? And they were like, well, in that case, I would love this, this, and this. And I'm like, great, let's find it. Let's bring it in. Do you see how that's different? We plant the seed and we take action from there, as in it's already ours. It's already happening. Awesome, let's do it. Okay, it's backwards. And this is how we make those leaps, those illogical actions, okay? So do you believe that you're good at what you do? Fuck yes, you do. Do you believe that you're unique and irreplaceable? Because all of this is going to determine your results. So do you believe that you're the one? Our beliefs shape our reality, always. We don't wait until the world shows us who's the one, whatever. We declare it for ourselves, we own it, and the world matches us. Okay, so fun. This gets to be so fun. So I spend a lot of time without this understanding. So we have a choice. When it comes to the financial side of our how, we have a choice. We can wait. We can wait for our money to fall out of the sky. We can wait to win the lottery. We can wait until the world shows us or tells us how worthy and valuable we are, or we can do something about it. You ready to do something about it? Okay, I'm going to show you something that's going to change everything for you in a second, but let's do a tapping session first. Okay, let's do a tapping session together on stepping into this next level, and then I'll share it with you. Okay, I'm so freaking excited. Okay, so take a breath when you're ready. Find a comfortable seat. Roll the shoulders up and back. Take another full breath in through the nose. Hold it. And exhale up the mouth. When you're ready, tapping on the side of the hand. I'm going to say, just repeating after me, remember. Even though I've never taken action in this way before, I've never been here before, as this version of me that I am right now, I know I'm here for so much more. And although it feels fucking scary, it feels foreign, it feels risky, it feels fill in the blank. How's it feel? I know I'm here in the perfect timing. I know that I'm here for a reason. And I know that everything is working in my favor. So even though it feels scary, foreign, I'm ready. I'm ready for so much more. I'm ready for my results to change. I'm ready to step into being the one. Go to the top of the head. I'm ready. Eyebrow point. I'm ready to embody the me I've always wanted to be. Side of the eyes. I'm ready to bring these ideas out of my imagination. Under the eyes, and put them and create them in my reality. Underneath the nose. I'm ready to serve on a bigger scale. Under the mouth. I'm ready to change lives. Collarbone point. I'm ready to trust myself. Under the arms. I'm ready to take my power back. Under the chest, even if it feels scary. Wrist point. Even if I have all these stories. Top of the head. About not being good enough. Eyebrow point. About not being ready. Side of the eyes. About not knowing enough. Under the eyes. About potentially being judged by everyone around me. Underneath the nose. None of that affects me anymore. Underneath the mouth. I am the one. Collarbone point. I am the one I've been waiting for. Underneath the arms. I am here to take the lead. Underneath the chest in my own life. Wrist point. And to start co-creating the life I know I'm here for. Top of the head. I'm done with average. Eyebrow point. I know I'm not normal. Side of the eyes. And there's nothing wrong with that. Underneath the eyes. I am me. Underneath the nose. And I am turning up the dial. Under the mouth. I'm ready to lead. Ready to lead. Collarbone point. I'm ready to step into this identity now. Under the arms. I'm ready to open up to receive. Under the chest. The abundance, the impact. Wrist point. The life that I know I'm here for. Go to the top of the head. I'm ready to embody this version of me now. Eyebrow point. She's wild. Side of the eyes. She's magnificent. Under the eyes. She's illogical. Under the nose. She doesn't make sense. Underneath the mouth. She's a light in this world. Collarbone point. She is a permission slip. Underneath the arms, she's high on life. Underneath the chest, she makes money while she plays. Wrist point, I'm ready now to open up to receive. Top of the head, the impact. Eyebrow points, the income. Out of the eyes, the freedom. Under the eyes, the purpose. Under the nose, the fill in the blank. Under the mouth, that I know I'm here for. Collarbone point, I'm choosing to go first. Under the arms, especially when it doesn't make sense. Under the chest, I'm declaring a quantum leap. This point, I am leading myself like I never have before. Top of the head, the gap is closing. Eyebrow point, I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. Out of the eye, this entire life was a setup. Underneath the eyes to get me to where I am now. Under the nose, I am the one. Underneath the mouth, and I've taken my power back. Collarbone point, I am magnetic. Under the arms, I'm grateful. Wrist, or under the chest, I'm proud of myself. Wrist point. Let's go. Take a breath, one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Close your eyes. Hold it. And exhale through your straw. Take one more breath as you notice how you are feeling. Release. Okay. How's it feel to be the one? To know that you're here for a reason and that this message that you have inside of you, that dream, that desire that you have written down, it's yours. And nothing is standing in the way from you making it your reality now. It's time to embody that version of you in everything you do. Declare rebirth now. Effective immediately, I am now this. These are my standards. I have changed. And everything around us is going to start to morph and shift to match. When we take our power back and we really truly realize our worth, holy shit, we move mountains. And everyone around us starts to change because we've changed. That quote by Wayne Dyer, remember? You change the way you look at something, the things you're looking at change, or something like that. Like, it's facts. But it starts with us. Okay? So you have a gift that no one else does. I want you to realize that. So many women, pretty much everyone I talk to, thinks that they're just like everybody else. And I used to think this about myself too. And then I realized, holy shit, I'm nothing like everybody else. That is a big realization. Okay, what you have on your heart is only going to get louder the more you trust yourself. But not until you trust yourself. You need to trust yourself. It's ready to come out. This gift that you have, this passion, this purpose, this dream, desire, this exchange that we talked about, you know you're here to serve. You have skills, you have wisdom, you have experiences that no one else has. You're very unique. We all are. Those of us in this room, we're a unique breed, okay? And it's time to give yourself permission to share them with the world. So many of you have been calling in more abundance into your experience. You have these dreams that are so big and so beautiful, rooted in freedom. It all comes down to freedom, right? Am I right? What's missing? Besides the embodiment, the abundance, the funds, the money. So money and self-worth are very, very, very connected. Very. Which I am so excited to share with you what I have for you now. And along the path of self-worth, it's one of the bonuses that I mentioned. Okay, so give me a second. I'm going to screen share here. Okay, now you can see my Canva, my Canva slide. Here we are. Your screen sharing is paused. Oops. Give me a second. I might have to just share the small one with you. Your screen sharing. All right, that's okay. We can just watch it like this. Okay. So here we are. Here we are. Are you ready for this? This is your how. Okay. So are you ready to step into owning your truth and sharing it with the world? I want to introduce you to the Rise Mastermind. It's coming October to December 2024, this year. And it's normally $3,333 USD for 3 months with me. And you can opt in to bi-weekly coaching for $5,555. But since you're here, and this is like the pre-sale, I don't even know if there's like an actual word for that. We're just rolling with the pre-sale. Maybe it's like early bird pre-sale. Who the fuck knows? Who cares? Okay, you're here at the perfect timing and you're ready to jump. So I'm going to give you this insane opportunity to join us for $333 a month for 3 months. Like that is like a fraction of the cost. Okay, you can also add on bi-weekly coaching with me, private mentorship for an hour, bi-weekly, every second week for $555. So it's not adding on, that is the complete package. Like, am I okay? Am I okay? Because private mentorship with me is way more than that. So bi-weekly coaching and the Rise Mastermind for $555 a month for 3 months. That's insane. But to make it even better or crazier, whatever, you can also choose the 6-month plan and just pay $177 a month, like for 6 months. Like, what is that even? And if you want to opt into the bi-weekly coaching with the mastermind, it's $277 a month for 6 months. Like, that's insane. Okay, so what is this? What is this beautiful masterpiece? So the Rise Mastermind is weekly group mastermind calls. If you've never been in a mastermind before, because I know a lot of you haven't, it's basically an opportunity for you to come together with women who are in your arena, who are exactly where you are now, and who are so aligned. Like, you guys should see in my community, in my membership, like, we are exactly the same people, but very, very different. Why is that? I told you why that is. It's because I've turned up the dial of me and I only call in a specific client, a specific student. and we're all thinking the same. We could all hang out together and have the best time ever. We're like instant best friends. We're all thinking the same. By the way, I host Rise retreats in Costa Rica next year. I was supposed to have one this year, but I've shifted it to next spring. Holy shit, we can be together in person. This is a big deal. And it's all because of my messaging and who I am calling in and my ability to trust myself, which I'm going to teach to you. So weekly group mastermind calls. So we're masterminding on where we're at, where we're going, like anything that's coming up in our businesses. Rise Mastermind is for you if you're ready to step into leadership, into leading and owning your message. Okay, this is not a coaching only thing. It's not just for coaches. It's for leaders. It's for women who know they're here to help the world to wake the fuck up and heal, take back their power, right? So we have our weekly group mastermind calls. We have our Telegram group chat, which has different topics, like subcategories in there. I'm a very organized person. I keep everything very organized by nature. And so we have in there a weekly Q&A. So you have an opportunity outside of our mastermind calls, any questions that come up in your life, in your business, and anything to do with embodiment, strategy, whatever, you put it into that weekly Q&A thread, and I'll answer it in there weekly. Okay. So you also get access into the Business Accelerator Course Vault. What is that? Right now, I'm leading a group of women through a how-to start and scale your own online leadership business. You get access into all of the trainings that I'm currently building out, this full rounded how-to strategy, messaging, content, branding, turning up the volume of you. Embodiment is in everything I do. This is what sets us apart. This is not just another business training. It's not just another how-to black and white, boring, figure it out, work harder training. This is a full body experience. Okay, this is a full body experience. Life and business are not separate. That doesn't mean that you work all the time. It means that how you lead yourself in your life translates into your business. It's not separate. So I teach you that. I teach you lifestyle. I teach you like habits. I teach you leadership. Okay. You also get 3 months access into my membership, which is over on Telegram as well. We have different monthly themes. You can binge listen to the past months. So we started this in June. We have Juicy June, where I showed up every single day with a voice audio clip ranging from, I'm going to say 10 to 35 minutes. It's like a private podcast. You can go in and you can receive coaching, training, mindset, embodiment, strategy. You can binge listen to all of our past sessions, audio, riffs, whatever you want to call them. In July, I did daily tapping. We have a whole tapping library in there. Different types of tapping, different topics of tapping, and I continue to build it out. There's also a specific business-focused tapping library for the Rise Mastermind. That's huge. This is how we become emotionally free and take back our power and stop just living up to our current results or the results of other people around us. Okay, you also get free access into all micro offers until the end of the year. Anything that I create, anything that I teach, anything that I launch, and I can't even tell you what that is right now, you get it for free, okay? And you get a bonus month in a membership because you're gonna join before October starts, okay? You get all of September in the membership. All right. And remember I told you there was this little fun bonus? We have a challenge coming in September that I am so freaking excited about. It's a leadership challenge. So this is going to be lifestyle. This is going to be mindset, embodiment, and strategy. A 30-day leadership challenge for the woman who's ready to be her healthiest, wealthiest, and best self. You get full free access into that. This is the first time the world has heard about both of these offers. And I am so excited about it. So let me just go back. Self-Worth September is basically, there's going to be, I haven't decided how many yet, but there's going to be specific live training sessions, okay, specifically based upon health, leadership, and embodiment. Okay, we're going to go off the premise of the body, the soul, and the mind. Okay, that's kind of like our trifecta for the month of September. So bringing them all together, we find harmony, we find homeostasis and balance. I come from a yoga background. Okay, this is big. And this will help us to step into leadership of the full embodiment of the woman, the leader we know we're here to be, so that we can serve the world at our best. And so we can attract the replica of that back to us. Okay, so that's really exciting. Along with that, we're going to have, obviously it's a 30-day challenge. So we're going to have a challenge little check thing. I'm going to give you routines, morning routines, evening routines to follow or to create your own. We're going to talk about elixirs. We're going to talk about, for example, like blue light blocking glasses. We're going to talk about just habits that we can adopt that will shift everything. Because remember, we're often looking for this big shiny object that's going to change everything for us. It's actually in the small things. It's in how we live our life, the habits we hold, the things we do or don't do. That's what's changing us. That's what's determining the entire trajectory of what's coming to us. We're going to talk about all of the health hacks, all the things, okay? Nutrition as well, yes. So, the Rise Mastermind, are you brave enough to trust yourself to go forward and to bring this message that you know you have on your heart that you have been suppressing for so long? You've been hiding. You've been telling yourself, no, that's not right. No, it's not time. No, I'm not good enough. What if I'm judged? What if I lose friends? What if blah, 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 blah? Guess what? Time is moving. We're not getting it back. You're ready now. You're here for a reason and you're ready to jump. Again, I'm going to reiterate this piece. This is not just for women who want to move into the coaching scene. Okay, I know down the road, what you have right now, again, is just a fraction of what's actually possible for you. There will probably be a time when you will step into coaching in the realm of what you've written down on your paper. Okay, that might not make any fucking sense right now, but trust me. Trust me, trust in the process. For example, I work with photographers. I work with spiritual healers. I work with moms. And all of these women have like a gift of their own. Okay, I work with teachers. And everybody wants, what do we want? Freedom. We want freedom and we want purpose. That's what we want. This is the answer to that. Okay. So what do I mean that eventually you might step into coaching? Is that instead of just coming in and saying, okay, I'm going to coach other families or people in photography, For example, I'm going to like teach courses on photography. I'm going to like lead in that sense. There will be a time when we cap ourselves out and we start to dream even bigger. And we'll say, okay, this is where I'm starting, right? But this is where I'm going. And it's just going to continue to transform and grow as we do. And over time, we will begin. And honestly, this happens really fast. Over time, it could be a month. It could be even less. Okay, we realize that we're here for so much more and that our message is so freaking potent and that we are not normal and it's ready to come out now. So then we could potentially step into leading and coaching other photographers, okay, into creating not just their photography business, but their soul-led, purpose-driven mission. Okay, so I regress. We have the Rise Mastermind for the woman who is ready to step into leadership and ready to turn up the dial on herself and what she's here to do in this world. You're here to lead. Okay, there's no doubt about it. And the time is now. I have this offering for you that's expiring on Wednesday, the 28th. I believe that's a Wednesday. The 28th of August at midnight. This goes away and the price will be increasing. And then Self-Worth September is available as a paid offer itself. Okay. I am so excited to lead you through this and to witness the transformation that is about to take place in your life. So I want you to, again, acknowledge the resistance, acknowledge anything that's coming up for you, and ask yourself, where am I going? What am I here to do? And am I willing to take a leap and do what most people wouldn't? Okay. Grab my hand, let's go. I'm going to teach you every step of the way. I'm going to lead you. I've gone first. I can show you how. Women in my mastermind, specifically for this one, because this one is a ground level. This is exactly where you are right now. Whether you've been dreaming of starting your business, whether you have started your business and have felt frustrated and like burnt out and kind of floundery for a long time, this is the perfect ground level mastermind to fucking skyrocket you into that next level of embodiment and of abundance. Okay, women in this mastermind, we want to create, embody, and achieve 5K months reoccurring. That is where we're at in this mastermind. However, I have a second mastermind that is coming in January. And yes, you are the first on the planet to hear about it. That is the second level where we start to scale. So when we scale, we are heavily focused on refinement, refining ourselves, turning up the dial even more. And that will support us in making the jump from 5K months to 10, 15, 25K months. We don't have a limit and we don't work in the logical paradigm, the linear paradigm. Okay. So if you're ready for this, you're going to find the link on the replays page. It'll be in the email with the replays as well. I don't have a sales page made for this, and I'm not going to make one. We're breaking all the rules here. We're breaking all the rules. If you have questions, get in my direct messages on Instagram. Come over, let's have a conversation. Okay. I know I'm not convincing you of anything because you know in your soul that you're ready for this anyway. And so you're going to jump anyway. What's the other one I wanted to say? Yeah, it's going to be a payment portal. You're in, you're in. If you're not, that's fine. But I know that you're in. Okay. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so freaking pumped and so excited for where we're going together. Like it's gold. Like we changing lives. We are changing lives by doing this work. Okay. We are changing lives. So I can't wait to see a bunch of you in the mastermind in Self-Worth September, where we are going to like blow up our fucking experience. We're gonna blow up the internet. Okay. So message me directly on Instagram, check out the link, get yourself in the room. Once you do get yourself in the room, we are going to set up our onboarding call so that we can have a conversation of like where you're at right now, where you want to go, and we can like really get strategic, and I can give you some tips, some kind of suggestions on how to start like right now so we can start to shift this. So I know from my experience, when I hired my first coach, even before I had a conversation with her, even before I got into the course portal, the vault with the trainings, my life fucking changed just because I made the decision to jump. Even when it didn't make sense, even when the money wasn't there, I jumped and instantly I became a different version of myself. So are you ready for that? Let's go. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for you and I'm so excited. Reach out if you have any questions, and I can't wait to celebrate you in Self-Worth September and the Rise Mastermind. We'll see you soon.